All right, so I'm here with Kaitlyn today, and Kaitlyn is one of our event management coordinators. And Kaitlyn, do you want to tell us a little bit about what that role is here at EventConnect?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have the opportunity to support both our guests that book the rooms through us and their teams and team managers, as well as our hotel partners and their sales teams and those that are working with our contracts. So when guests or hoteliers call in and are looking for some assistance, sometimes that answer can't be completed or given right in that moment. A little more digging or a little more time needs to be spent on getting that issue or question resolved. And that's where our event management coordinator team comes in to help piece that all together and really make sure that our app is seamless in its communication between guests and hotel.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that do pop up that need that additional follow-up and touch points. You really become that middle person, right, between the guest and the hotel sometimes.
Absolutely. Sometimes the requests that maybe we receive from teams through our system, whether that's different room type needs or numbers of rooms or different durations of stay, because their team has different needs. And that's not always an answer that's ready for our support team to provide because we need to go back to the hotel, communicate that there's some unique situations going on and how we can collaborate to make sure it's the best experience for everybody.
Absolutely. So one of the issues that we've had, we have a couple here that we can go through, was a team accidentally booked at 2 different hotels. They didn't realize that they had 2 different blocks set up, and really the team members split themselves, and they really wanted that experience of being all together. That's really important for our teams. So how did we go about servicing that to ensure that they had that experience and the camaraderie that comes with team travel?
Yeah, like you said, team travel, we understand they want to stay together and have that bonding experience, and a lot of our hotel partners really get that as well. But that's where our app and the connectivity that's been built into it really provides, again, that seamless experience for guests and our staff to provide the help. So there we can actually update the block that they want to keep at the hotel they want to stay at, make sure it has enough rooms for even those that maybe have already booked a room at the other property. And then our staff work with the team manager or guest to explain how to move those reservations without having to cancel and rebook, maybe pay the booking deposit an additional time and then get a refund for a duplicate. Just helps make it a lot easier. The team can track everything and their team manager feels hopefully a little bit more confident knowing they know exactly what's going on with their team accommodations.
Yeah, absolutely. We did talk about kind of that importance of bed type, and we've seen it before where a team is booked 2 queens, and then the hotel turns around and changes those reservations from 2 beds to 1. And so we've had that scenario where 2 queen beds for a team, and then all of a sudden they're all in single kings. We know a lot with sport travel that quad occupancy is very important in ensuring that athletes are in a proper bed and not a pillow sofa. Can you talk about how we deal with those contract discrepancies that really impact teams?
Yeah. The important thing to know is those changes are never made at property level to inconvenience or cause trouble. Unexpected things come up for both the event, the hotel. We all know that sometimes no matter how much planning you do, you can't prepare. And with how much inventory the hotels are accommodating with us, sometimes changes have to happen. But our staff and especially our event management coordinator team really works to communicate with the property as to why those changes may not be able to accommodate our guests appropriately, and being able to get ahead of those changes, make sure that our contracts are being followed to the extent that we've prepared them and that our guests are advocated for. And when they arrive at the property, they know what they're checking into. It's really important for both our follow-up with the hotels as everything's closed out and guest experience.
Yeah, that importance of a smooth check-in. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. We see it sometimes whether it's somebody whose team is no longer traveling to an event or an event's been canceled. Their reservations are canceled, but they still wish to travel. And we need to go in and reinstate reservations. Sometimes those reinstatements are very last minute with the hotel. How can we go about reinstating those reservations but trying to also maintain that rate, that great group rate that we've already negotiated, so that they can benefit from those discounts.
Yeah, this is a great opportunity to really shout out the time and effort that is spent building our relationships with our hotel partners. When we're able to reach out to them and explain these scenarios, they really do want the best for our mutual guests. And especially where the event itself is still taking place, we still have that contract and the guest had a reservation booked. Being able to reach out, get on the phone with those contracting managers that we've set it up with to be able to advocate again on behalf of the guest and secure them maybe that family vacation that's now a little bit different than they were expecting, but still at a great rate, and to be able to attend another event and have had that positive experience with EventConnect, we hope provides them that confidence for every event moving forward that their team will be taken care of.
Awesome. And now we've seen it with hotel, again, as being that middle person where hotels have reached out to us and they have emergencies on their end, whether it being, showers that have shattering doors to flooded rooms because the sprinklers have gone off. You name it, but we've probably heard of every hotel emergency that there is. That impacts teams as well.
Sure.
And the whole travel experience. How have we gone about servicing those and ensuring that smooth check-in or even having accommodations at the hotel?
Yeah, again, sometimes we can't plan for those pipes being burst or, or other community members from the needing to come in and be accommodated. But we really, again, work with the hotel to explain the needs of our guests, make sure that they are appropriately accommodated and everybody has a bed to sleep in. And we work with them, whether that's finding a different room type that maybe has the same number of beds. Sometimes it's finding 2 rooms that maybe are side by side or adjoining or as close as the hotel can make it to give that family the space they need, but at the same rate that they were expecting to pay and not be, looking to have their athletes sleep, on the floor or share that sofa bed with their sibling to make sure they have the space and they're comfortable, but also safe.
I think that's an important part, is that we've really seen ourselves as being that personal advocate for our families when they're traveling. Sometimes they're driving and coming to the event when these things come up. And so we've really put an emphasis on advocating for our families and for our hotels too.
Absolutely, and keeping the communication strong while that's happening. So again, sometimes that team is all on the road and you're at various points, somebody maybe has already checked in and the team manager's on their way, helping to streamline that communication, make sure there's somebody that can communicate with the team members, keep everybody up to date, and also that our hotel knows what's happening and confirming those changes with them so that the team, again, has no questions upon arrival. We've helped to make sure that they're ready to go.
Awesome. And you said it a little earlier there, a shout out to our relationships that we've built. We've seen it in action the last few weeks. Can you talk about what that relationship that we've built in certain cities, what that means to you and your peers when it comes to working with these hotels in critical situations? Because it's really impactful.
Absolutely. Our hotels need to know that we're there to support them as well. And that there's a lot of mutual trust between us and the property. They trust us to help accommodate the guests, make sure that those reservations are booked, communicate with them in terms of what our guests' needs are, and when any changes happen on our side. And we expect that from them as well. And being able to grow those relationships allows my support team the ability to reach out, and they know who we are at EventConnect. They can rely on us to follow through on those changes or adjustments that are requested, and to also be considering their needs as well. We want to keep those partnerships long-term, and making sure they're heard and understood really only benefits both of us when those last-minute changes come up. That collaboration is really what makes day in and day out at EventConnect pretty fun.
Yeah, it's awesome. So, we've talked a little bit about some of our favorite support experiences. I know one of mine was we had a team many years ago, a hockey team, that they were in an oversell situation at a hotel. And we needed to find them some new accommodations in small town USA, and it was very difficult, and we were able to get them rehoused, but they turned around and won the championship. And so on the Monday, we got an email with them holding their banner and their cup, and all the kids were excited, but really that emphasis on the experience that we gave to that team. We took a horrible situation, we were able to turn it around for them, and they had the best weekend of their lives. What is a scenario for you that has always stuck with you through your time here at EventConnect, working with teams?
I think there was one not too long ago, actually, where a parent had reached out. They were attending a hockey tournament with their youth athletes team. I believe they were about 7, 8 years old. So team bonding and being together is pretty important at that age, and it was one of their only tournaments for the year. The parent had reached out as they'd accidentally booked their reservation at a different property than the rest of their team. They understood they were coming in maybe a little last minute, but if there was anything we could do to help, it was the athlete's birthday. It was his 8th birthday, and all he wanted for his birthday was to stay at the hotel with his team. So we were able to get in touch with the hotel, and again, thanks to our great partnerships, they were able to get us a room. It wasn't the exact same room type, but the guest was flexible with us. We were able to get them at the same hotel. The other property they were booked at was wonderful to work with, understood that the change was made to stay with the team, didn't charge any cancellation penalties, and that athlete spent that weekend with his team, and I hope he had the best 8th birthday ever.
I'm sure he did. All right, well, thank you for sharing your experiences with us. Appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
Thank
Awesome.
you.